Havard on the Green with Donald Trump, our guest. Now, Donald, before I ask you about women and, you know, your mother, of course, that's where I think everyone gets their ideas of mothers, or of women.
Right, to a certain extent.
Yeah. Do you have any fun?
I love life. I mean, I love it because I like what I do, and I love it. I like during the day and during the evening. Work hard and play hard, and I think that's probably
So
important.
you have fun that doesn't have to do with work? Because I find that hard.
No, I have fun that really doesn't have to do with work, but I think everything is basically work-oriented, but I do have fun that doesn't necessarily have to do with work.
But you don't travel a lot, or do you? You just...
I just got back from Hong Kong, which was a 20-hour trip, which is murder. And that was business. I travel, but I really like my life after my office hours also. I mean, I'm sort of around New York, and I like it.
Well,
New York
are
is a
you
great
seeing
place.
anyone? Can I be nosy?
Not particularly. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot of people.
Women-wise?
Women-wise, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
into women more than men. I mean, you know, I'm all for guys that like men, but it's just not my thing.
Right. You really
I
like
never
women.
really understood that.
What? Guys that like guys?
Well, I think
Well,
it's
that's not
terrific
you.
if they're really into it, but, you know, and if I were into it, I'd be into it, but I like women. That's my definite preference. I have to say.
Now, which one do you like most, women or money? Honestly.
Now, that could be a tough question.
Is that tough?
That's a tough question. I really like, I really admire and respect women, I have to tell
Right.
you. You know, I joke and we're cavalier, but I think women are incredible. They're smarter than men.
Thank you.
They're tougher than men.
Thank you.
And certain women can lead certain men right down anything they want. It's the power of a certain thing that's just unbelievable.
And does that go for you? Can you
I
be
can
led anywhere?
Oh, yes, I can be led. And
Would you ever go for a fat, middle-aged woman that's a Jew?
It's always possible.
No, you're more into the young, blonde, thin model thing, aren't
I tend
you?
to be, but, you know, you never know what happens. I mean, life changes.
Yeah.
Life can change.
Have you ever been with a fat woman?
No. But it could happen. It could happen.
You should
Just
try it.
I know. It's good. I can imagine it's very good.
No, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised.
I think I'd be very pleasantly surprised. I have a feeling.
So you're not seeing anyone, you're seeing a lot of people.
Really a lot of people at this point.
Now, why is it, you're not getting married again, I hope. Did you learn your lesson, or are you going to do it
You
again?
tell me, should I?
No, don't get married again. Except for you always had prenuptial agreements.
I did.
Excellent. I learned from you.
I did. You need a prenup. Well, you did. I mean, you had to learn something from me because you've gone through the ringer. There's no question about it.
This is my third and final marriage.
Well, that's good. And I think that's terrific. And it sounds like you're getting along very well.
We're getting along, yeah. thank
Fight
God.
every once in a while.
Yeah,
Marie,
well, I
but
go
these are minor
crazy.
details. You know.
Oh, my God, no, we have to talk about this.
Go ahead.
The can't shake hand thing.
Ah, good.
Because, okay, you know, I have this thing, just started a week ago, the hands and the germs, and I know you have it too, right?
I think it's a terrible, terrible custom in this country. And oftentimes I'll be sitting at a table having a roll, and some guy comes up, and he's a nice guy. He says, "Oh, Mr. Trump, I really like you. I really respect you. Could I just shake your hand?" And, you know, you're eating a roll. And he just came out of the men's room, and you're saying, why do I have to be doing this? The only good thing is you tend to lose weight. You don't eat as much because you put the roll down, and that's the end of the roll for the night. And frankly, it's the end of the whole evening as far as I'm concerned.
Really? Do you have to run in and wash your hands
Well,
in the
I
bathroom?
prefer to.
Is it like a germ thing?
It's a germ. I'm a germ freak. There's no question.
In your house, are
I
you
wash, I am, even in my, I wash my hands as many times as possible. I'm very clean. I like to take showers. You know, I'm into staying nice and clean.
Now, I think that the, like, being creative and being successful, it seems to, like, go hand in hand with the, like, obsessive compulsive disorder somewhere.
Well, that's right, and probably you and I have that, and along with a few other people.
Oh my
Not
God!
that
Since I came out of the closet, so to speak,
Right.
what with the hand thing and
Right.
all, you would not believe everyone I'm meeting, every famous person has that or some other thing. You said that you like the Japanese culture because they bow.
Well, the one thing I really like about the Japanese culture, because I don't like a lot of things about it, but the one thing I do like is this. I would do that all day long to anybody that they want if they just left me alone.
If they stopped trying to shake your hand.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, it would be terrific. And
I tell people I'll hug you or even kiss you, but I'll kiss them on the cheek or something, other than have to avoid touching
I
their
actually
hand.
prefer that to the other. And, you know, and also studies have come out saying that, you know, you catch colds, you catch everything with the hands. And I just don't understand it. So the Japanese culture has a very, very proper way, and that's a slight bow. And I don't care, I'd get on my knees, I'd do a slight bow, a major bow, it wouldn't matter. But
Right.
shaking hands is a disaster, but I think we probably have to do it. Do you just not shake hands with people?
Well, I just started. It started like a week ago. I was in my car, and it's like I had about 4 really sweaty hands in a row.
Oh, it's terrible.
Shaking hands with people with sweaty hands, and
Oh,
you
it's
go,
terrible.
oh, because you don't know what it
Oh,
is.
and then you have the people that shake your hand, and they're nice, and they think they're doing a favor, so they shake your hand, and they go like this, and they start wiping their hand off because they think,
They do that
and it's still sweaty. And those are usually the really sweaty ones because that's why they're doing it. They have a problem, and they sweat, and then and it's just a disaster. You know what I mean? Yes.
I do know what you mean, and I appreciate you talking about it. And I want to talk about your mom too, because
Okay.
I thought that was so sweet that you said your mother was a housewife, but she was like she had the best advice, and she was a brilliant woman.
Well, she's a brilliant woman. She's a really good woman, and she is a woman who, I say she's a working woman, but she was always a housewife. She was a great mother,
Right,
and
we
still
are
is.
they are workers.
There's
we
a
are.
real worker, and she worked just as hard as my father. My father was a builder in Brooklyn and Queens and terrific, but my mother was a really hard worker, and every bit of, you know, they're married 57 years, 58 years, and so they don't understand the word divorce. You know, divorce, it's like, what
Was
is
your
divorce?
mother shocked when you got divorced?
It just wasn't a word that ever entered the vocabulary. You know, divorce isn't like an acceptable thing, but it's not even acceptable. It just doesn't happen. But
Right.
it's a little bit of a different generation, I suspect.
Yeah, totally
But she's a
different.
terrific woman and really a great example and role model, as was my father.
Now, do you think that you're like, you know, seeing a lot of women and having, you know, divorces and stuff like that? Is that because are you ever going to find any woman that measures up to mom?
No, I doubt it. I think, you know, my mother's very special. And I don't like to think of women in terms of my mother because I'd never touch them. That's another thing that I'm not into. But, you know, it's like...
Well, is
I would
that
never-
why they? Well,
I
let's
would
go
never,
there.
No, my mother's like a person. She's just a great woman and a really wonderful woman. So I don't like to equate the women I go out with.
You mean you don't want to think
I'd
your
never
mother's
kiss
a
them
woman?
goodnight or beyond that.
You don't want to think your mother's a woman?
No, she's a great woman. I just don't want to equate other women because I literally.
Because
would-
there's like this one woman that's
Yeah.
like
yeah,
the
she's a
queen of all
special-
women.
She's a special woman, and she never kissed anybody. She never did.
She never had sex?
She never had
yeah.
sex. My mother never had sex. She never even thought about sex.
Do you think she shook hands with
She's
anyone?
perfect. I mean, you know. So how could I go out with anybody like that? That would be
Right.
terrible. So, but she is very special.
And I bet she feels that way about you too.
Well,
I
she
bet you're
should.
her
I mean,
special little
She better
baby.
feel that way about it.
So, thank you for being here.
Well, thank
I'm
you very
fascinated
much.
by you. You will always remain fascinating to all of us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. You want to shake her hand? She her hand out of my
Go
second.
ahead.